Hey guys, it's Ozzy with Keller Williams Realty, and in this video we're going to talk about how you can become the most powerful buyer in any situation. And in this situation we're going to talk about buying a Rolex, so it's going to be fun. Stick around. Let's put you, the viewer watching this video, as the owner of a Rolex store. So let's say right now you own a Rolex store and you only have one watch, one piece of inventory, and it's a Rolex watch that's worth 15 grand. Okay, so you own that Rolex store and you have one watch to sell. Now, let's say two buyers come into your store. One is a cash buyer and then the other one's a pre-qualified buyer, because obviously you know that if you don't have the cash to buy something, the only other way to buy that thing is to ask for a loan, right? To borrow that money. So that's where financing comes into play. Now, that pre-qualified buyer comes into your store and says, hey, I know that you only have one watch, and I want to ask you if you can hold that watch for me for a whole week. Can you hold that watch for me, please? What would you say to that person, right? If this pre-qualified buyer came to you and said, can you look, I even got this thing in the mail from Capital One, MasterCard, Visa, blah blah blah. It's saying I'm pre-qualified for a credit card. Can you please put that in your back in your stock room and don't sell it for a whole week, right? Now let's say the same thing happened with this cash buyer. This buyer comes into your house, into your store, and says, hey, I have the cash. I have the cash. And I even have a bank statement from Bank of America. Look, boom, right here, Bank of America. I have the cash. Can you hold that for a week? So now you have two buyers. One saying, I've been pre-qualified for the credit company, and the other one saying, I have the cash, I just need you to hold it. And you can only hold it for one person, by the way. Let's just say you can only hold it for one person. Which one would you hold that $15,000 watch, which you only have one of? Which one would you hold it for, right? That's how real estate works. There's only one house that owner owns, and if that seller has two buyers, one has financing and one has cash, who is that seller, that homeowner, going to hold the house for, right? So that's to give you an idea as pretty much to the power of cash. Now, if you don't have cash, then we got to stick with financing, and that means that you got to ignore this buyer for now. Let's talk about financing. All right. So let's only say that this person comes in your store pre-qualified, says, I've been pre-qualified with a credit company. Let me just hold that watch for a week. I just need to go and process this thing. Let me just process this thing so I can buy it from you, right? Now this other person comes in and says, hey, I don't need to go get a credit card from Capital One. I actually want to get financing through Rolex.com, through Rolex. So do me a favor. You only have one watch, right? This is what this buyer is saying. You only have one watch. Here, let me give you this right here. Let me give you this. Here's my bank statement. Here's my W-2. Here's my taxes. Here's my FICO score. Here's my pay stubs. Here's everything to prove that I am financially ready to get approved through Rolex. So now you have two people. One that said, I got pre-qualified with a credit card company, and then this one that's showing you every single piece of proof that he possibly can, and then asking you, hey, I'll get approved through your company. Which one of these two is more powerful in your eyes, right? If you are only selling one watch, which one would you rather sell it to or hold the watch for? So now, based on that question, you already know that this one's more powerful. So moral of the story here, you guys, ignore these ones over here. Moral of the story with these two buyers is that if you get something in the mail saying you've been pre-qualified for a home loan, that's how powerful you are right now. If you actually meet with a lender, or you've sent all this documentation to an actual lender, a mortgage officer, and they've reviewed your file and they actually said, yep, you're right, you're going to be more powerful of a buyer if you're trying to buy that home. So I always recommend get a full pre-approval letter and send in all the documents that lender's asking for. It's only going to make you look and be a stronger buyer. Now, we've already discussed cash, we already discussed pre-qual, and we already discussed pre-approval letter, right? And the differences between those. Let's talk about this one right here. Not a lot of people know about this one. Your real estate agent has to be experienced and has to be connected to the right lenders to know how to get you this. This is called the underwriter. Now, before we get to the underwriter, I do want to stress to make sure that you know what the underwriter is. The underwriter is the person in the head honcho that in a bank either stamps approved or stamps rejected on your loan, on your financing, right? So the underwriter is the head person. So whoever is approving this thing, whenever you get something saying pre-qualified, pre-approved, it doesn't matter until the underwriter stamps it approved. I love going stamp. Now, not all banks do this, by the way. Unfortunately, some banks, some lenders do. If you can get this high of through the financing loops, through the financing steps, you're almost as close as possible to a cash buyer, because you can tell. Watch this. Watch this. This person can beat these two other people. Probably not the cash as much, unfortunately, sometimes, not all the time, but can definitely beat these two other buyers. Why? Because this person right here has not only gotten pre-qualified and has not only submitted all his paperwork, but this person has had the underwriter, the head honcho of a bank institution, stamp approve on his file. That's somebody giving clout, right, to your financing. That's somebody giving validity and weight to your financing. So if you only had one watch, and let's say you didn't even have, I want to block this out for now. Boom, right? You had one watch, that's it. Who would you hold the watch for? The pre-qual guy or gal, the pre-approved letter guy or gal, or the guy that actually got the underwriter of the bank to approve the loan? So now that you watch this video, you now understand the different type of buyers there are out there in any market, especially in real estate. My goal as your real estate agent is to get you here. If you're not buying the home cash, my goal is to get you here as much as possible, because when there's only one house, the reason why I said there's only one watch, there are examples and scenarios, is because that owner usually only owns one home, right? So when there's only one home, and actually there we go, when there's only one home and you're competing against other buyers, if you are this person, you're gonna have the strongest offer. So from now on, get yourself underwritten approved. Get yourself financial. Get your financial stuff set. So when you find the home, you're like, I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay. If you have any questions, go ahead and text me, email me, or call me and let me know how else I can elaborate this or go maybe into a different scenario. Any ideas that you may have, shoot me a call or shoot me a text message. Take care. Bye bye.